Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through all the noise and really get you well informed on what matters in today's biggest MLS matchups.
Yeah, think of it like a shortcut. We do the homework so you get the core insights.
Exactly. We've looked at everything: team form, player fitness, those unique stadium vibes, and of course the key insights from our SmartBet AI models.
Right, all the essentials.
Yeah.
But we're steering clear of any betting specifics today, just the game analysis.
Perfect. So we've got two really big games with major playoff implications. First up, CF Montreal hosting Atlanta United. And then we'll shift focus to New York City FC taking on Columbus Crew.
Two really intriguing matchups.
Absolutely. So let's unpack this first one, starting up north.
Okay.
CF Montreal at home, they've been, well, pretty solid lately.
Definitely.
They've bagged 10 points from their last 5 games at Stade Saputo. And get this, 3 clean sheets in that stretch.
That's impressive consistency at home.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now, contrast that with Atlanta United's away form. It's been, let's say, inconsistent.
Yeah, it's putting it mildly. Just one win in their last 6 on the road.
Right.
And, what's really fascinating there isn't just, like, bad luck. It often comes down to personnel.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, their midfield rotation is just so thin right now because of injuries. You've got a Johnny Fortune still dealing with a foot issue. Santiago Sosa's out. Osvaldo Alonso, too.
Wow, that's a lot of cover missing in the middle.
Exactly. And when you lose that many options, I mean, you're basically asking your starters to just endure this huge workload week in, week out.
Which leads to fatigue, mistakes late in games.
Precisely. It compounds itself. Now, on the flip side, you look at Montreal. They're largely at full strength. And it's a massive boost for them having Mako Miljevic and Raul Melchioto fit again.
Right, that adds depth up front and creativity.
Exactly. Depth and creativity they can bring off the bench, which is, a direct contrast to Atlanta's situation right now.
And the weather looks good, too. Conditions at Stade Saputo should be pretty much perfect.
Yeah, looks like it. Around 72 degrees Fahrenheit at kickoff. Light breeze, dry pitch. Ideal for playing.
Ideal, but you have to wonder, especially what you said about their midfield, if that travel fatigue becomes a real factor for Atlanta.
It absolutely could. That journey combined with tired legs in that key area,
Yeah.
it's something to watch.
Okay, so with all these factors form, injuries, home advantage, where does the SmartBet AI land on this?
Right. Let's see the numbers.
It's giving Montreal a 46% chance to win. A draw and an Atlanta win are both sitting at 27%.
Okay, so a definite lean towards Montreal.
Yeah, a clear lean. And the most likely projected score lines, well, 1-1 is up there, but 2-1 and 1-0 wins for Montreal are also strongly predicted.
That makes sense. And the goal projections.
Montreal projected at 1.4 goals, Atlanta at 1.1.
So yeah, the numbers confirm that slight Montreal edge. But this raises a really important question, I think.
Which is?
What happens if Atlanta, kind of against the run of play maybe, scores first?
Yeah. That could completely change the dynamic, couldn't it?
Totally. Suddenly they have something to defend, the pressure shifts, the psychology of the game changes.
Just essentially away from home, getting that first goal could settle them down.
Exactly. And given Montreal's depth, like we talked about, especially up front and now in midfield with those guys back, I'd say the critical battle is going to be how Montreal's fresher legs can exploit Atlanta's perhaps tired central players.
Particularly in transition moments.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
When possession turns over, can Montreal capitalize quickly? That's key.
That's a great point. And it leads us nicely into something the numbers maybe can't fully capture: Stade Saputo itself.
Oh, yeah, that place.
For anyone who hasn't experienced it, it's not just a stadium. It can feel like a weapon for them.
It really can.
I remember back in 2015, they used it so effectively in the playoffs, nearly beat Columbus, knocked out Toronto. The atmosphere was just electric. And it's the whole culture, chants in French and English, those drumming sections that just don't stop.
Nonstop, yeah.
And when Montreal attacks that south stand, it honestly feels like the whole stadium is leaning in, putting pressure on the opponent.
You're spot on. And visiting teams talk about that all the time.
They do.
Yeah, they consistently describe it as feeling smaller than it is, like the walls are closing in when they're defending. That kind of pressure, it can rattle even really experienced players.
So for Atlanta, the big question is mental prep, right? How do they handle that initial onslaught?
Exactly. It often comes down to, veteran leadership, staying organized defensively early on. But if they wobble, if they don't show composure right away tonight, that crowd will absolutely smell blood.
Okay, a really potent factor to consider there. Let's shift gears now to our second deep dive. Yeah. New York City FC hosting Columbus Crew.
Right, another big one.
NYCFC at Citi Field, it's a totally different vibe than Stade Saputo, obviously. A baseball stadium.
Very different environment, yeah. Wider pitch, different acoustics.
But they've been strong there. 4 wins in their last 5 home games, scoring 10 goals in that run.
Impressive attacking output at home.
Definitely. But that huge playing surface in a baseball park, it stretches defenses, communication can be weird. It's its own unique test.
It is. Different challenges than Montreal's intimate setting.
On the other side, Columbus Crew, they've been struggling a bit away. Winless in their last 4 on the road.
True, but you always have to be cautious with them.
Because of that strike force.
Absolutely. Cucho Hernandez and Diego Rossi. They can score against anyone, anytime. They remain a serious threat, regardless of recent away form.
Good point. What about injuries for this one?
Well, NYCFC has a couple of notable absences. James Sands is out with that ankle issue until later this month, probably. And Malachi Jones has a lower leg injury.
Okay, so Sands is a miss in midfield.
A significant one, yeah. But their front line is intact, and Santiago Rodriguez, he's been in really good form.
And for Columbus?
The big one for them is defensively. Rudy Camacho is out.
Ah, he's the organizer back there, isn't he?
Exactly. He's the one marshaling that back line. Without him, they've looked, frankly, more vulnerable, susceptible to through balls, quick cutbacks. That's a worry against NYCFC's speed.
Okay, that's a key factor. And the weather in New York.
Well, it's pretty good for soccer. Around 79 degrees at kickoff, moderate humidity, light wind. Should be good for a high-tempo game.
So perfect conditions. All right, let's bring in the AI again. What does SmartBet project here?
Lay it on us.
Okay, it's giving NYCFC a 44% chance to win. A draw is at 29%, and Columbus gets a 27% chance. So tighter than the Montreal game.
Definitely tighter. Closer odds.
Projected goals reflect that too. NYCFC at 1.5, Columbus right behind at 1.4.
Oh, very close.
And the most likely score lines are all clustered. 2-1 NYCFC, 1-1 draw, 1-0 NYCFC. But also a 1-2 Columbus win is right there in the mix.
Yeah, this really looks like a razor-thin matchup.
Seems like it.
Home field definitely gives NYCFC that slight edge, on paper. But Columbus, with Rossi and Cucho, they absolutely have the firepower to flip that script.
Especially if they can exploit Camacho being out for NYCFC. Wait, no, Camacho is out for Columbus, right. Making NYCFC's attack potentially more dangerous.
Yes, right. Camacho out for Columbus, making them more vulnerable defensively. Good catch.
Right. So NYCFC's attack might find openings.
Correct. And crucially, again, it comes down to that midfield battle. In New York, that fight for control is probably where the game will be decided.
And without Sands?
Well, without Sands, NYCFC's ability to dictate the tempo, to break up Columbus's quick counters, that could be really tested. It might force them to be a bit more reactive.
And Columbus will look to hit them on the break.
You can bet on it. That's where they can be incredibly dangerous.
Okay, so let's try and distill this down. Key takeaways for both games.
Right, so quick summary. For Montreal versus Atlanta, you've got a slight home edge for Montreal, mostly down to their depth and that Stade Saputo factor, but keep a close eye on who scores first. An early goal, especially if it's Atlanta, could totally change the narratives of that match.
Got it. And NYCFC versus Columbus.
It's a much narrower home lean for NYCFC. But danger really lurks everywhere with Columbus's counterattack, especially with NYCFC potentially missing that key defensive presence in midfield without Sands.
So bringing it all together, it really highlights how vital squad depth is, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
You see Montreal with maybe more robust options in midfield compared to Atlanta's situation, and then NYCFC facing challenges in that same area without Sands, particularly against Columbus's quick transitions.
It's like 2 different chess matches, as you said, but the midfield is kind of the queen in both games. Controlling that space is paramount.
Yeah.
And, this raises an important question maybe for you, the listener, to think about.
Go on.
Consider how these sort of granular details, team fitness, that unique stadium atmosphere, the specific battle for midfield, control how they transform your understanding of what makes a fair fight in sports.
Interesting angle.
How much do these, hidden factors really shape the outcome, even when the numbers, the stats, look pretty close on paper? What does that tell us about, the unpredictable beauty of the game?
That's a great thought to leave people with. So we've run the numbers, we've looked at the form, factored in the conditions, the stadium.
There's a key angle.
Pretty much everything except kicking the ball itself. All that's left now is for the whistle to blow. Hopefully you can apply some of these insights as you watch these really compelling matchups unfold.